What is up, guys? It's Swammer here, back again with some more Great League action. Going to be trying out another new team today. This time we're going to be leading with Dewgong and Deoxys on the safe switch with Alolan Marowak in the back. So Dewgong and Deoxys form a really strong core. They cover each other's weaknesses very, very well. And then that third Pokemon can be one of many different things. So I'm going with Alolan Marowak here because Alolan Marowak gives me better coverage against the grass types that Dewgong might struggle with and does pretty well against the electric types with access to Bone Club and counter users. Those are really my biggest fears. What it doesn't do so well against is other rock types. So Bastiodon, for example, would give this a fair bit of trouble. So one thing you could do is swap out Alola Marowak for like a Vigoroth or something like that, and have double counter users in the back. But then you potentially risk getting walled by something that resists counter. So it's this third Pokemon is really up in the air. I think a number of different things would work, and I'm just trying Alolan Marowak in there. So let's go ahead and get right into the battles. So these are my first sets with this team. I tried one other team with Dewgong that didn't go so well, so hoping that this one is a little bit more well balanced. And we see a Galvantula on the lead. This isn't great. I'm going to have to go straight into Deoxys here, hoping to basically connect with some rock slides, but Galvantula is definitely going to be a problem for this team. They go for the lunge, which does a lot of damage. Azumarill is coming in, so we're going to have to go for Thunderbolts here. We do connect with the first Thunderbolt, so that's pretty good for us. They're looking like they might think about farming down, so I'm going to throw a Rock Slide just before I think they're getting to a move. We do connect with the Rock Slide, and then we've got a little bit of lag. I don't think I would have gotten to another move either way, but going to come in with Dewgong now. And tank whatever this carriage move is. It's going to be a play rough. The Azumarill has basically 100 energy, so this is going to be another play rough likely coming through. So this is getting us fairly low. And then I'm counting the fast moves here. And at the 5th fast move, I decide I've got to throw the Icy Wind. It is just one more Ice Shard to take them out, but I can't risk taking another play rough and having to shield. So Galvantula is coming in. I'm going to go ahead and drop the Icy Wind right away. Hoping to connect with the damage. We do get the damage. In comes a Marowak to start farming down, and it's a Registeel in the back. This is amazing. This is probably just about the only thing in the back that we could beat. So I'm going to go ahead and shield up the Flash Cannon. I need to save one shield for the Galvantula, but I am going to need to shield once against this Alolan, or against this Registeel. So we successfully bait the shield with the Bone Club. And we're just going to keep going straight Bone Club. Shadow Ball is more energy efficient, but we're still able to deal super effective damage with Bone Club here. Unfortunately, we sort of pseudo-CMP tie here, so I end up throwing the Bone Club into this Registeel. I really rather would have saved the energy, but that's fine. We're going to take it out, and then we're just going to have to Fire Spin down this Galvantula. We are going to shield up this Discharge. And then the Fire Spin is going to go through and take out Galvantula. So very fortunate for us that they had a Registeel in the back. And I mean, if it had been almost any other Pokemon, we would have been in a really tight spot there. So I guess if it was a Grass type, we probably would have been fine too. But yeah, that was a good first match. Hopefully we can get some more wins here. So Skarmory on the lead. This is good for us in theory. So we're going to go ahead and go for Icy Wind. We do CMP to tie to the first one, but this is just going to be a Sky Attack. I am going to shield it anyways, because I know that I'm going to be able to get to the second Icy Wind before they get to the second Sky Attack. So it will do much less damage the second time around. So going to throw this next Icy Wind. This is going to get the Skarmory quite low. and they actually swap out into Shiftry. So not going to invest a second shield here. This is kind of a tough spot, to be honest. I don't have a great answer to Shiftry. I probably should have come in with Alolan Marowak, to be honest. I was thinking that I'd come in and basically see if I could counter down with Deoxys, but they've got too much energy, or they're too close to another charge move, basically, so I do throw the Rock Slide. They let it go, which is not great for me. I really would have preferred to get the shield. But Starmie's going to come back in. They're going to be forced to throw their energy, which is totally fine. Again, maybe it would have been better to shield that, to be honest, because now I'm going to come in with Dewgong and not actually be able to farm down. Yeah, I probably should have shielded that Deoxys and farmed down with counter to have loaded energy, but it's a Whiscash in the back, and the loaded energy on Deoxys wouldn't have been any good. And Alolan Marowak really has no play against the Whiscash. So I'm going to go for Shadow Ball. If for some reason they let it through, then maybe I've got a chance, but they do shield it, so that's going to be a good game. No need for me to shield this. I definitely can't win this match, so Mud Bomb's going to be taking me out, and very well played by my opponent there. So Shiftry is definitely a Pokemon that's going to pose problems for this team. Basically, Shiftry has playable matchups against all three of these Pokemon, and with an energy advantage, probably beats all three of these Pokemon. So I think maybe I should have shielded the Dewgong against the Shiftry. So another Galvantula on the lead. Going to go ahead and swap into Deoxys. Basically want to see if we can do this the same way. This is going to be a lunge like before. It's going to deal quite a bit of damage, but I don't want to invest a shield just yet. And it's an Alolan Marowak coming in. So I'm going to over farm on energy and go for Rock Slide. And really what I want to do is get this Alolan Marowak as low as I possibly can. So not going to invest a shield. We are able to get to the second Rock Slide, which is really good for us. But they're going to be able to farm us all the way down with Fire Spin, which is not so great. So we're going to come in with Dewgong because our Alolan Marowak would have to shield twice since they have basically 100 energy, whereas Dewgong is just going to have to shield one Shadow Ball. We are going to get hit with a second Shadow Ball here, but then we're going to be able to farm down with Icy Wind and have a fair bit of loaded energy. And then Galvantula is coming back in. We're going to throw the Icy Wind here. Probably going to get a shield. We do get a shield. Going to go into Alolan Marowak now. And then my opponent looks like they're lagging here, so very unfortunate there. Azumarill's coming in. They're going for the bubble. Going to go for Shadow Ball here. We do connect with the Shadow Ball. Azumarill's still looking to bubble us down as much as they can. Going for another Shadow Ball, and that gets the Azumarill very, very low, and then they go ahead and surrender. So that game would have been really, really close, I think, if my opponent hadn't lagged. I think that it probably would have played out fairly similar to that first game I was in, but I think I didn't have two shields that time, so it's possible that they would have won that if not for the lag. So Skarmory on the lead here. Again, this in theory is good. I'm going to try and play this a little bit differently, and instead of going straight for the Icy Wind, I'm going to build up a little bit past. However, they're building up to the Brave Bird, so I do throw the Icy Wind to drop their attack right away. And then they have two here, so I need to respect the potential Brave Bird. I am going to shield up the Sky attack and then go for another Icy Wind. This is going to get actually a shield, so that's very good for us. They're twice debuffed, so I'm not going to shield whatever this is. It is a Brave Bird, so that deals quite a lot of damage, and then it's a Toxicroak coming in. So I'm going to go ahead and switch into my Alolan Marowak. And Bone Club is probably the move you want to be going for here. Deals super effective damage, and Toxicroak's quite squishy. So we're going to shield up one Mud Bomb. Mud Bomb would deal quite a lot. And then we're going to go for a Bone Club. We don't get a shield, so we're just going to farm down. We are going to have to eat another Mud Bomb. But that's okay, because we're going to have loaded energy on our Alolan Marowak, so we're likely to get that shield back. And we'll have to see what comes back in. It is a Skarmory coming back in, so this is pretty good for us. We're going to go ahead and farm them all the way down. And we'll have to see what's in the back. It's a Sand Slash, a Alolan Sand Slash, so that's why the Skarmory came back in. Uh, this is going to be a nightmare for them because Fire Spin's going to deal a ton of damage, Counter's going to deal a ton of damage, and they're not going to be able to deal enough damage to us. So switch into Deoxys there to do one counter and take them out after the Shadow Ball, but that whole team was weak to Alolan Sandslash, basically, so he had a lot of play there, and that was really, there wasn't very much that my opponent could do, given that I had Marowak on my team. All right, so Whiscash on the lead. This is definitely where we want to see it. Dewgong has a very good matchup. They swap into a Meganium, so I'm going to go straight into my Marowak. So uh, building up, they should get to the Earthquake about the same time I get to the Shadow Ball. So this should be an Earthquake. It is an Earthquake, and then I'm just going to go ahead and farm as much energy as I can. But I don't think I can actually take them out before they get to another Earthquake, so I am going to drop a Bone Club for a little bit of extra chip damage, and we actually get a shield, so I'm going to drop another Bone Club for some more chip damage, and we get a second shield, so that's really good for us. I think they probably had time to make it to the Earthquake. They might be one Vine Whip short, and it is just a Frenzy Plant, so they probably were. But they invested 2 shields, so I'm totally fine to invest a second shield myself there. Whiscash is coming back in. I can go for the Shadow Ball, and then they're going to Mud Bomb here, and because I don't know what's in the back yet, I'm actually going to swap out of my Marowak to potentially save it for something in the back and into my Deoxys. I didn't want to come in with Dewgong because that's my hard counter to Whiscash. So we'll have to see what is coming back in. We're just fine to take these Mud Bombs from the Whiscash. We're going to build up as much energy as we possibly can on Deoxys. So we've got back-to-back Rock Slides here. I'm going to throw just because I don't want them to get to another Mud Bomb, since that would get us very low. And it's a Skarmory in the back, so this is looking really good. Going to be going for a Thunderbolt here. This Thunderbolt's going to be dealing a lot of damage to Skarmory, about half of its health. And they're going to be forced to throw on me if they don't want me to get to another charge move. So they are going to throw their energy here. This is going to take us out, but we're going to be able to come back in with Marowak and farm up to a Bone Club and then take them out with the Bone Club. So could have come back in with Dewgong, obviously, but Marowak is going to take them out faster with the fast moves. So that's going to be a good game. All right, so 4-1 in that first set, so pretty good, to be honest. Not sure if I like this team quite as much as the Stunfisk Azumarill Tropius team. I feel like I got a little bit lucky there in a couple of matches, and that might have contributed to the win. So, but we'll have to see. Able to get a Hundo Mudkip on the reward there, so that's pretty nice. And then game is lagging out a little bit here, so we'll just have to restart the video, I think, and then get into the second set. All right, so second set coming up here. And we've got Dewgong into Skarmory. So Skarmory is a very common lead, so this is quite common to see. I'm going to, again, build up past the first Sky Attack, and we are able to sneak in an extra Ice Shard there, so that's amazing for us. We're going to go ahead and shield this first Sky Attack, and then build up to 2 Icy Winds. So we get to 2 Icy Winds, and then we're going to throw. They did not get an extra Air Slash in, so that's good. This first Icy Wind's going to deal a fair bit of damage. Going to get another Icy Wind through. And they didn't again get an Air Slash through, so this is really good for us. They should be at Sky Attack now, so they need one more to get a Brave Bird, so this is just going to be Sky Attack. I don't need to shield. Doesn't deal a lot of damage. They actually swap out into Azumarill, and I'm going to go for Icy Wind spam here. I'm going to make them throw their energy into me, and before I switch out, I could definitely swap out into my Deoxys, but Dewgong does quite well against Azumarill as well, so there's really no need. So going for the Icy Wind here, the second Icy Wind's dropping their attack a lot. So they're throwing a charge move here, and I'm just fine to let this hit me. They actually throw an Ice Beam. That's going to do basically no damage, so they're actually having to use all their energy here. Going to let this hit me again, and it's another Ice Beam. So really strange play by my opponent. I think that they were hoping to get a shield, but there's very little reason for me to shield in that scenario. And they're going to swap out into Skarmory to reset their debuffs, but I've got another Icy Wind ready for Azumarill when it comes back in, so they're just going to get debuffed again, and now their switch clock is reset again. So um, this is looking really good for us. We're going to be able to come in with Deoxys, and we're just going to be able to counter down. I don't need to shield anything from this Azumarill, because it is debuffed. See, the Hydro Pump only does about a third of my health. And then we can completely counter down for a ton of loaded energy on Deoxys. So it is a Stunfisk in the back, so this still isn't over. Stunfisk has very good play against Alolan Marowak and against Deoxys, and they've got 2 shields. They're likely not going to shield anything from our Deoxys, so we're just going to spam out the Rock Slides for a little bit of chip damage. It does slightly more than a counter, so I do think it's worth it. We're not going to shield. We want to force them to throw the Earthquake, and they go for Rock Slide, so we're going to be able to get off a lot more counter damage, and they're actually going to decide to throw another Rock Slide here to prevent us from getting too much more counter damage. So now we can come in with Alolan Marowak, and these Fire Spins are dealing super effective damage. We are going to have to shield up whatever charge move this is. It's just a Rock Slide, but we need to basically commit to the farm down. They've got 2 shields, so there's no sense throwing a move. And we are able to take out that Stunfisk with the Marowak. They were probably getting fairly close. They certainly had another Rock Slide, probably getting pretty close to the Earthquake. So the match was a lot closer than it looked there. So all right, Dewgong into Whimsicott. So I'm going to see if this is Razor Leaf or Charm. And it is Charm, so this is pretty good for us. I'm going to stay in, and they swap into Azumarill. So I'm going to go ahead and throw an Icy Wind here. And then going to build up some more energy and actually swap into Deoxys. I certainly could stay in with Dewgong. However, Dewgong's going to have a good matchup against Whimsicott, as is Alolan Marowak, so there's really no need for me to stay in, and I can just go for Thunderbolts with this Deoxys and really pressure shields and health on this Azumarill. So we do get a shield, so that's looking alright for us. We're going to go for another Thunderbolt here. And this Thunderbolt is going to be getting them very low. And they actually decide to swap out back into Whimsicott, so I'm going to go for a Rock Slide to deal some nice chip damage here. And because they have swapped out, I'm going to go ahead and swap into my Alolan Marowak. Marowak's going to be resisting the charms and going to be resisting all of the charge moves. So we're not going to shield this. It's going to be a Moonblast. I was surprised actually how quickly they got to it, but that's totally fine. Marowak can tank that, no problem. Expecting the Marill to come back in, so we're going to go for a Bone Club. They've got a bunch of stored energy, so this is going to apply a lot of shield pressure. We do get a shield, and then they're throwing a charge move. I don't know what's in the back, so I'm going to shield in case Alolan Marowak is strong against whatever's in the back. Going to go for another Bone Club here. This is likely going to be taking them out. Yeah, we do take out the Marowak, and it's a Stunfisk in the back. So Alolan Marowak is going to have some play here. We are going to go for the Bone Club. And then I'm hopeful that I can get to another Bone Club before going down. So it'll be really close, and yes, we are able to get to another Bone Club, so this is very good for us. My opponent wanted to farm me down, but they took a lot of damage in the process. We're going to go into Deoxys now. And they're going to be forced to throw their energy because counter is dealing too much damage. Rock Slide comes through and takes us out, and now we're going to go into Dewgong, and my opponent decides to surrender because there's really no way that they can win that anymore. Dewgong was basically full health, so they would have had to land like 3 Rock Slides or something like that. Alright, into the next matchup here. Hopefully we can keep this solid streak going. So we have a Whiscash on the lead. This is very good for us. And this Whiscash is building up a lot of energy. They definitely have a Mud Bomb, but I'm going to go ahead and throw an Icy Wind now to debuff their attacks so the Mud Bomb deals less damage. If you're the Whiscash in this scenario, I'd throw the Mud Bomb as soon as you get it, because you are going to get debuffed. So Mud Bomb comes through, doesn't deal a ton of damage. We're going to go for another Icy Wind here. We actually CMP tie. So expecting this to be a Mud Bomb, but it's a Blizzard. Blizzard is double resisted. You definitely don't want to be going for Blizzard in this matchup. So interesting choice by my opponent, but we're actually able to Icy Wind and then farm down. So this is looking very good for us. Venusaur coming in. We're going to go ahead and go for the Icy Wind. We do get a shield, and they're going to be forced to throw. Otherwise, they're going to have to take another Icy Wind. We do get to another Icy Wind here, so this is going to get them very low, or actually get the second shield. So we get the second shield. It's very good for us. This Venusaur is low. They've got no shields. I've got two. Skarmory's in the back. So we are going to swap out of Marowak into Deoxys to meet that Skarmory. Shield up the Sky Attack. I've got two shields, so I may as well use them. Going to build up some extra energy and go for a Thunderbolt here. So we are able to get to a Thunderbolt and then counter down the Skarmory. Venusaur is going to be dropping a Frenzy Plant. That's fine. I'm just going to let it come through. Doesn't quite take me out, and we're going to be able to get to a Rock Slide to take out this Venusaur, but Marowak in the back obviously was going to be able to dominate that Venusaur either way. So really, really good match for us there. We had great counters to their team, to be honest. So able to basically capitalize on winning lead and carry that advantage throughout. So. Alright, Dewgong into Skarmory. This is probably the most common matchup I see on the lead. They swap out into Azumarill. I'm going to go ahead and go for the Icy Wind to reduce this Azumarill's attack, and then I am going to swap out into Deoxys. Actually, I'm going to let them hit me with another charge move. I want to force them to show Play Rough, because if they don't have Play Rough, this is an even stronger matchup. So they do, so I'm going to swap out into Deoxys now, and then we're just going to go for Thunderbolt. We want to force shields or health. Since they're debuffed, I'm not going to shield this, so it's a little early for Hydro Pump anyways. It's going to be, so it is just going to be a Play Rough. This Thunderbolt is going to be dealing quite a lot of damage, but it does actually get shielded, so going to be building up some more energy now. Their switch timer is coming up, so they're going to swap into their Skarmory. But again, Skarmory doesn't exactly have a great matchup against Deoxys, so we're going to go for a Thunderbolt here, and we get a second shield, so this is looking very good for us. We're actually going to shield up this Sky Attack, and then save the energy on the Deoxys, and come in with our Marowak. Since they just swapped out of Azumarill, we know that Azumarill can't come in and punish this Marowak, so not going to shield here. It is a brave bird, but that's going to lower their defense, so we're going to be able to farm them down very easily now. And there's very little farm now for that Azumarill when they come back in. So they actually come back in with Stunfisk. We're going to go for a Shadow Ball. Does the most damage, so we do connect with the Shadow Ball, and then we're not quite able to get to a Bone Club. We just faint as we get the energy, so not great. We are going to come in with Dewgong and go for the Icy Wind. So this is going to deal a fair bit of damage, but it is going to lower their attack, which is very important here. This is going to be a Rock Slide. I'm not going to shield. I'm going to save my shield for Deoxys, as I think I'm going to need that Thunderbolt to take out the Azumarill. So again, going to let this come through. The Dewgong does go down here, but we're going to be able to counter down with Deoxys. And we've got a lot of loaded energy, so we're going to go for the Thunderbolt here. This is going to deal a ton of damage to that Azumarill. Doesn't quite KO, but we are going to lag a little bit and then get to the Rock Slide. And this Rock Slide is going to KO the Azumarill. So, good game there. Very important for us to save the shield for the Deoxys, as that Azumarill did have some energy. But Azumarill can't stack two charge moves, so one shield is definitely all I needed. Alright, Dewgong into Hunter. So this should be an okay matchup. We will likely basically CMP tie to the first Shadow Ball, so I'm going for the Icy Wind here. I am going to shield up the potential Shadow Ball. It is a Shadow Ball, so glad that we shielded that. Going to go for the Icy Wind. They actually slip in an extra Shadow Claw there, so that's not great for us. But we do get a shield, so that's good. That's not altogether surprising. Gonna get another Icy Wind through, hoping to take out this Haunter, but if we get the second shield, that's great too. We do get the second shield. And now that they're twice debuffed, I'm not going to shield this. If it takes me out, so be it, but it actually doesn't. And we're going to be able to Ice Shard down. So we won Switch and won shield advantage on the lead there. They come in with Toxicroak, so we're actually going to come in with Marowak now. And basically we're going to shield up this Mud Bomb, and then connect with our Bone Club to deal a bunch of damage. So they actually swap into Azumarill, so we're going to go for a Shadow Ball. And what this Shadow Ball is going to do is put them into Thunderbolt range. So we are going to farm up to a bunch of energy here. We are going to have to take a charge move. And then what's important is that we over-farm because we need to make sure that we can win the race to the Thunderbolt against the Toxicroak to the Mud Bomb. So we're going to go for the Thunderbolt here. And then with that residual energy, we're going to get to the Thunderbolt. It's important to go for Thunderbolt here because Rock Slide is going to be resisted, and I'm not running Cycle Boost anymore. So we are able to connect with the Thunderbolt, and then my opponent recognized that their win condition was to double up on the Mud Bomb, so they didn't throw, but we were able to take them out with our own counter before they could double up. So good game there. Able to go 5-0 in that set, so 9-1 in the first 10 matches with this team. So very happy with that. But there definitely were a couple hiccups, and I didn't see any Bastiodon, and Bastiodon is basically not going to be a good time for this team. And I only saw one Shifter, which again is not going to be a good time. So I do think that there are some weaknesses with this team, but there's no perfect team, right? So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time.